Hi everyone and welcome to Sly Spy Gaming. With Marvel's Midnight Suns having been out for a little over a week, I thought I'd dive into their first console update and as usual break it down for you. If you want to check out the patch notes yourself, I have linked them in the description below, but before I dive in, I did want to mention the new Discord channel for any of you other Midnight Suns out there. If you're interested, check out the invite link in the description below. Now let's dive into this update, starting with general fixes. They start their update notes out with some general fixes, with the first being pretty general statement of including various bug fixes and adjustments to improve stability and performance. Again, this was a pretty generic posting as they didn't really describe what exactly they fixed or what stability improvements they made, but I guess you'll just have to take them for their word and believe that they have done some things to improve those beginning stability and bug issues that the game did experience. The second on their list was that they addressed the hero ops progression bug. Now I personally did not have this bug, but I had heard about it and I heard that it was incredibly annoying. All in all, from what I know about the bug is that pretty much when you would send a hero out, they wouldn't actually progress on their hero op, leaving it pretty much locked until the developers were ready to fix it. So thankfully this bug has been fixed. Next, they mentioned that they fixed some game crashes when attempting a manual save. Again, this was not an issue that I personally had, but I can see how this would be extremely annoying. The major issue that comes to my mind when this happens is potential save corruption, which would suck because there is a lot to do in Midnight Suns, including a lot of collectibles. And then lastly, for the general fixes section, is they fixed Magic standing on the chair while speaking to her in Wanda's room. The first item in the general fixes might not have been very specific. This is incredibly specific. Talking about Magic standing on the chair while speaking to her in Wanda's room, as that is the typical hangout for Magic when you don't find her in Limbo. Again, this was not an issue that I personally had, but I have heard a lot of other people talk about it and not really cause issues, but more of just why is she doing that sort of thing. From here, we'll be moving on to the combat fixes that were included in Marvel's Midnight Suns 1.004 update. So the first of these fixes was Capture Agent General missions will now grant 3 stars if they are completed in 3 turns. Originally, apparently this was 2 turns, and I guess that was a little bit too hard for some people, so they have changed it to 3 turns. The next thing that they mentioned was they fixed tracking for multi-detonate kills against the Intel challenges. So if you're new to the game and you haven't progressed that far, Intel challenges are pretty much challenges that the game gives you during certain missions, and if you complete them, you get certain rewards like credits, gloss, things like that. Apparently there was an issue during one of these challenges where it wouldn't track for multi-detonate kills. This has been fixed. Next on the list is non-damaging knockback attacks no longer trigger Lilin Guardian's Rage. So apparently there was an issue where any knockback attack or any attack done to the Lilin Guardians would trigger their rage. Essentially, from what I understand, it would make them target whatever character was attacking them. The next one is Magic's Reinforcements ability will now draw the proper card amount on play. So the Reinforcements ability for Magic is one of her epic cards, and she's supposed to draw, I believe, 2 cards during this ability. Essentially what Reinforcements does, her Reinforcement card will actually pull a different character from the Abbey to come and fight with you. So initially you would have 3 characters that are fighting with you. Reinforcements card will actually pull a separate character from the Abbey and allow them to fight alongside you for 1 turn. Additionally, the card will also pull a couple of cards for them to use, so they're not just standing there completely helpless, not doing anything for 1 turn. Next on our list is that heroes will now have vulnerable for the correct number of turns when a moderate injury is applied. So throughout the game, your heroes might get injured, and apparently a moderate injury will make your hero vulnerable for a couple of turns. Apparently this was fixed, and the correct number of turns has been applied. Last 2 on here is that Nest Mother should now summon altars at the start of each mission, and they have improved hitches during specific combat actions like vaulting. The hitch issue was a big one and definitely took you out of the game experience as a whole. I know in the actual patch notes they mentioned vaulting, but it seemed to be hitches during every single activity. Take, for example, Nico's Swarm ability and Captain Marvel's Photon Beam were definitely big contributors to that. From here, we'll be moving on to photo mode fixes. So apparently one of the big things that they wanted to focus on, both the PC and the console update, which is surprising to me, is photo mode fixes. So I dabbled a little bit in photo mode, but, you know, Not too much, not anything crazy, just kind of looking at the different comic covers and things like that you can access after the missions are done. Just kind of played around with photo mode in there, and a little bit inside the Abbey and things. For it to be one of the first things that they really patch is surprising to me, seeing as there's so many more game mechanics in the actual game itself. The photo mode fixes that they have implemented in this update are they have ensured clothing settles when changing poses. So apparently when you would change poses with the character, which there are a plethora for each and every character, the clothing would, from what it sounds like, stay in the same place. The next one is that Ghost Rider's flame head effects render correctly. Lastly, effects remain if the depth of field is changed. Like I said, it was a pretty short update, and that pretty much covers everything that was in Marvel Midnight Suns update. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure that you smash that like button and subscribe button. Also, if you are newer to the game, make sure that you check out my newest video, my last upload, for the best early teams that you can create in Midnight Suns. But until next time, everybody, this is Sly Spy Gaming, signing out.